Hello, everyone. It's good to be back again, and it's a very long episode, but trust me, it will be worth it because a lot of things were actually explained in that episode. So today we would move on. Okay, hope you're excited because I am excited. Okay, so I have task 15 here, and it says create a new style sheet called Ajiro Tech 7.css and attach this to the web page called tax15.html. So let's do this. So I'm going to open tax 15. Tax 15 is right here. I'm going to right click, open with Microsoft Expression Web. Okay, so I'm going to open it. And the next thing I'm going to do is Ajiro Text 7.css. I'm going to do this. Okay, so link. The reason I'm doing this because I've created it here. So href, and this is going to be Ajiro Tech. Ajiro Tech what? 7. Okay, Ajiro Tech 7.css. And this is going, the relationship is going to be a style sheet, and the type here is going to be text /css. And I'm going to close this. Now if I hold my control and click this, I'm going to open it because it's already, I've created it right there on that same folder. Now let's look at it. I said h1, so I have h1 here. Okay, so h1 has italics, so that's font style. Okay, italic. Okay, and what else? It says center the line. Okay, so I'll probably just do this so it's make it easier for me. Probably just do this. Good. I can close this as well. So center. So this is going to be text align. Center. The next one is what, 24 points, which is the font size. Font size 24 pt. 24 pt, please. Okay, then font family, which is if what, Hever Helvetica is available, we use that. Otherwise, comma space, we use double speech marks, we use area narrow. Okay, comma space, but not available, the browser's default sans serif. So I have a sans serif we use. Okay, so that's all. The next one is what, h2. Okay, space, the curly bracket. So this is font weight, and it's going to be bold, semicolon. Text align, it's going to be right. Okay, 16 points, so that's the font size. £16. Font family. Okay, so I have this double space marks, Korea, narrow, comma space. It's available, but we use that. Otherwise, it will choose Korea. So I have Korea. But if this is not available, the browser's default proportional space font will be used. So that simply means we can either use serif, sans serif, um, courtesy, fantasy, monospace. So I'm going to use courtesy. Okay. Okay. So the next one is H3. Okay. So that means an underline. So this is going to be text decoration. Okay. So this is going to be underline, semicolon, left align. So that's font size. Sorry, what am I doing? Sorry. Text alignment. Sorry. Text alignment. Text align. So that's left. Yes. And then I have font size. That is 16 pt. Semicolon. Um, Font family. I'm going to use double speech marks. So I have Korea now. Okay, comma space. Otherwise, it would choose Korea. So let's go with that. Korea. Okay, but if not available, it's going to use the browser default professional space font will be used. So I'm going to use monospace. Okay, so the next one is the paragraph space, curly bracket. So I have font size. So I have 14 points, semicolon, text align, left, and I have just serif font really. So that's font family, right? I hope we're having a good time. I hope we're having a good time. Yeah, yeah. You always have a good time with Ajiro. Promise. I'm really cool. Really. Okay. So I'm going to save this. Literally, I'm going to save this. We've written a lot of codes here. So please clap for yourself because you've been amazing and you guys have been wonderful. You've been with me since episode one. It's really, really, I applaud you all. You're amazing. Okay, so print evidence of your screenshot, the HTML source, and the browser view of the web page with the star sheet attached. So this is evidence of it here. This is attached here. So let's do this. So let's preview this. So this is what we're going to have at the end of the day. So this is what we're going to have at the end of the day. So um and left align. Okay, so it's fine. Okay, 16 point left. Okay. If attached to start it. Now most of you were just joining us and you asking what is proportional space. Now we talked about it here in episode 7 and I will highly recommend you go back to it. Now if you look at it here, which has what proportional spacing, all these are what we call the proportional spacing, and we've done videos exclusively on episode 7, okay, on this. So please go have fun with it and you would not regret it. So here we have text color. You can use the, let me get my pen, sorry. Okay, so good. So you can use the color property to change the color of text within a style. So this means you probably see what we call you see the properties which is called your color. So what we, for the color properties, that's what you're using. We're just using what color, not font color, right? Just color. The difference between color and background color is the background, right? Earlier in the slide, change text color with an embedded CSS in the HTML. As earlier mentioned, it usually works with a hex color code. That means it has this, okay? And they're always preceded with what? A hash symbol. So let's do this. They said, question 28. Edit the file for question 27 so that the H1 is red. So I'm going to open question 28. question 28. Open with. Okay. So they said edit your files for questions. So I'm going to, let me see, so that the H1 is read. So I have this right here. The first two. So what I'm going to do here, because I have this to be blank, let me preview 28. Let me preview 28. Let's see what this here. Okay, so this is what we have here. Okay, so what we are doing here is so that the style H1 is red. So again, we're using the CSS for this. So the H1 is red. So I'll come here to this and I'll put H1, and then I have color and I have red. So remember I will GB, so that's 00, sorry, FF, right, which is to on, and then 0000. And I'm going to save my work. And if I refresh this, what do I have? H1 is actually red. Okay, so again, the first two characters is for red. Just want to explain. I've explained this in the previous episode, but just to explain this. So the first two characters here are red. This also is for green, and this is for blue. Hence the word RGB. So that means it has 20, 20, 20. So each will give us what we call a black, where it has what? A hash. So here, this is fully off. When we have this, it means fully on. We'll probably have F and then 8 or something. This means partially what? Partially what? On. So this is very important. Okay? It's very important. All right. So question 29. Let's go question 29. Okay, so control, then click on this. So question 29 says, so that the style H1 contains the full hexadecimal component. Okay, so it has, so I have H1 here, the color, hash, red is 0, so RG, FF, and it's not case sensitive anyway, if you're wondering. It's not case sensitive. So it can be smaller letters, uppercase. They contain the following, so that's the blue, really. So I'm going to save this, and 29, I'm going to preview. Okay, so that's a green, right? RGB, that's a green rather, right? Not a blue, sorry, a green. The other one will be a blue, RGB. Okay, so again, this is for blue. Okay, so, oh, sorry, yeah, blue. Yeah, I said blue, RGB. So again, this was changed. Now, please, this is important. This was changed, and this is very important. When they specify this, and I want to explain this, when they specify this, it simply means that no matter how they change it, it must be what? This. Okay, so here you're having 00, you're having 0, yeah, 00, because this is green, and then you're having what? FF. So that's what you're having here. So I know it was blue, and sorry about that. Okay, so just FF here. Like I said, it's not case sensitive. Even if I put a small letter, it's still going to work. It's not case sensitive. So I'll come here, refresh, it's a blue. Okay. All right. So this is very important. So no matter how they change it, it must be in this order. RGB. This is very important. Okay. So again, and the colors have been placed in the correct RGB, which is red, green, and blue order. Okay. Task 16. Copy the file saved in task 15. So let me do that. Let me open task 16. tax system here. Okay, control, and I'll click here. So I think we've done so many things. I'll just close this. Really, I'll close this, close this, close this, close this, close this. Okay, so I have this. So what are we doing here? They said edit the style sheet Agile 10. Is that Agile 10? Yep. So that each style has the following colors. All values are in hexadecimal, okay? And only accessible code should be used in your style sheet. So H1 is blue. So if H1 is going to be blue, so this is going to be color. Remember RGB. So 00, 00, FF. What else? H2 has a full red component. So again, this is going to be color. Okay, a full red component. Green is 45 and blue is 0. Okay. H3 color H. So this is going to be arrow. So that's 48. Three D and 8B. Okay. 8B. Then there's a semicolon. Just probably add a semicolon here. Okay. What else? P is half red. Okay, so that means this color. When I said RGB is half red, that means F0. Okay, is half red and no other color. Okay, 0000. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to save. Okay, so let's preview our work really. Okay, so you can see that you can see difference here. This is half red, right? If we're using a full red, you need to understand the question is what is half red. If we're using a full red, this is going to be FF, right? So if I come here, see the difference, right? So let me see. This is a paragraph, right? So we're probably not seeing a difference really, but again, half red is this. This is half red, right? So a lot, and you're like, okay, do you have a private tuition? Don't you have? Do you have? And yes, Ajiro Tech do have a private tuition. So by my right, you can see that we have for the EdExcel and Cambridge IGCSE, and yes, we do have for all subjects. Okay, all subjects. Okay, the popular ones that's always been in demand is mathematics, English language as a second language. Okay, we have physics, we have biology, we have chemistry, and we have um, you know the flagship, which is ICT, just here and there. We also have business studies. So if you're interested for a private tuition, I think all you have to do is send an email to the sales team at ajirotech@gmail.com, and they would reply to you, talk about your time zone, talk about and the fee is really quite affordable. Really, it's really quite affordable. It's when you look at it across other tutoring service, I think this is the one that's quite affordable and you get the very best of service. We also have for the E levels as well, um, and also for the EdExcel. So we have for the Cambridge E levels and EdExcel E levels. Okay, and we have also across the subject mathematics, which is usually the hot cake when it comes to A-level mathematics and chemistry, and then biology. These are usually one of the ones we have in demand always, all the time, even physics, for A-level. So all you have to do, if you're watching this right now and you are interested for a private tuition, then you can do yourself a solid, okay, and send an email to the sales team at ajiro@gmail.com, and they'll reply to you. And the good news about this is, what I've discussed with the sales team is, we've tried as much as possible to see how we can subsidize the amount according to countries, so it doesn't really look very, very heavy. Okay, so this is really important. Yes, we do charge in pounds, but again, we try to be as much as possible considerate to your countries, and we don't just skyrocket the price. No, because at the end of the day, we know how it feels, and we really want you to actually get the best of service, and again, be able to afford it from the comfort of your home. So again, Ajiro Tech private tuition is currently ongoing. You can enroll yourself for the IGCSE, and then for the E levels. Again, for the IGCSEs, these are the subjects, and for the E levels, these are also the subjects. So again, what are you waiting for? Just send an email to the system. If you're an IGCSE student preparing for IGCSE, if you're watching this in 2024, 5, watching this in 2026, watching this in 2027, we're currently ongoing, and this is actually a good time for you to actually explore, and then get it tailored to your own needs. So trust me, you don't want to miss out. Okay, probably not taking off the difference anyway, but that is it. Okay, specify background properties. Let's look at this. And the first one we want to look at is background colors of a table using an inline style, or what you call your embedded what, CSS. It is possible to do this for each element, but it is much easier to define it once in an external style that can be applied to all pages and with all elements on the page. Okay, so let's look at this. Question 30. Let's look at question 30. Okay, so I'll right click, open with. Okay, so what else? So that the web page has a car key. Now, when they tell you this, right? When they give you a color like this, a color code like this, type it exactly the way it is. Unless they specify the red, the green, type it exactly like this. This is very important. So you need to know the difference. Okay, you need to know the difference. So this means that it has the control. Open this. So this is has what? So the web page has a khaki. So this is going to be the background color. Okay, thank you. Um, F0. Okay, so E6. Okay, so what else? E6, 8C, 8C. I'm going to save this. Now let's preview our work. Really, just click here. Um, is that question 30? Or am I seeing? Okay, that's question 30. Has a background color. Let's see. Um, 30 is not giving us the 30. Let's see what is wrong. Sorry. Oh, okay. I've seen what is wrong here. Now, the reason why it didn't work, right? Please. The reason why it didn't work is two things, right? This, we did not separate. I talked about the fact that declaration has to be separated by two. By what? By a semicolon. Each declaration has to be separated by a semicolon. We didn't do that here, because this was the last one and we left it like that, which is fine. But when you're going to add another declaration, you have to put a semicolon. Most of you want to crucify me right now. I could see the eyes. You're looking at me. Sir, it's not working. Sir, it's not working. Mr. Ijaro, it's not working. I'm sorry. Okay, it's gonna work. Okay, trust in Ijaro. Okay, just have faith in me. We really have faith in me. Okay, we're coming to the end of the finale of website authoring, so have faith. Okay, we've been through so much. Okay, we've been through so much. All right. Okay, so let's just say okay, so we can see that is actually working. But now I have a problem. It's showing okay, let's see. Something is wrong here. Something is not right. They said so the web page has the background color. Now for this to work, okay, so I'll probably just undo everything. For this to work, right? Is it let me just undo everything. Can I undo everything? Yeah, I can undo everything. Let me see. Control Z, yes. Now let me put the semicolon down. Now, for us to have a background color, what we did this in H1, which only applied to this. But for us to apply this to the background color, this has to go into what? Body. Okay? Body. Okay, so I'm going to use body here. I'm going to use a background color. Background color. And then I'm going to type it there. F0 E6 8C. Is that correct? Let's see. Um, F0 E6 8C. Good. 8C. So I'm gonna see the semicolon here. I'm gonna save this and yes, finally, you guys going to crucify me. Okay, okay, so it's working. Literally, it's working. I can rest. Right. So literally, the reason why I did what I did and it's intentional is the fact that most of the time we make that error. We make the error that background color and we get caught up. We don't check the selector. And this is why it's always good to have to preview your work to see how it's going to look like. So I showed you a little bit of when you put a background color to a heading or to any form of style, it's going to have the background. And this for the background is white. Okay, so this is very important. Now look at this. Now we add a new selector to define the body section of the web page, which is what we have done. So we use the background color properties to have a new value like this. So this is what we did here. Okay, this was what we did here. Okay, all right. Now the background color property must contain what? A hyphen. Okay, must contain a hyphen, and then that hyphen is dash. Okay, this is what we call a hyphen, is a dash. Okay, must contain what? A hyphen to what? To separate to, we're not having background space. The hyphen brings them together. Okay, so this is very important, and this is very important. We'll talk about the sans serif as well. The background color can be applied to the whole web page like this, or to tables, table rows, headers, or footers with a single definition in the style sheet. Note, the background color declaration can also be used with other styles to give different effects. Can you see? That's what we're doing. So essentially, we can do what? H1, right? And we did that. This RGB, that gave us a khaki background blue for it. And that's the reason why you have this here, literally here. So if I remove this and I leave it here, I remove this, this is what I'm going to have at the end of the day. You will see that this has what? A background. But this is going to cover because the text is already blue on its own. The text is already blue. We'll probably just have to just use a red on blue. Okay. And then save. We're just experimenting really. So you probably have something like this. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. It's always important in my classes to experiment with a lot of codes and then that will feel comfortable for you. Tag 17, right? Copy the file saved in tag 16. So let's open tag 17. Tag 17. Open with, I have this here. Okay, so I'm going to open this. Okay, so I have this. And I said, edit the style sheet so that the web page has a background color with a red component of F2, so that the web page has, okay, that's the body. Let's see. So we're adding a body here. Okay, calling bracket, background color, right? Has a red component of F2, a blue component of RGB. No, that's and a EG green. So that's EG. Okay, so and the B is EC. 8E, right? Yeah, 8E. 8E and what? E8, sorry. E8, E8 and 8E. Okay, so just to be sure, F2. Okay, so let's save this and let's preview our work. So this is what we have at the end of the day. Okay, all values are hexadecimal and only hexadecimal codes should be used in your style sheet. Print evidence of your style sheet and the browser view of your web page with the style sheet attached. Okay, so that simply means that if you want to print this, you're probably going to print this by taking a snipping to a screenshot of this, probably something like this, right? And then you can, of course, you have to show your headings here, but there's so much, probably something like this. This is what you do at the end of the day, right? But we're not doing that, right? So all this have been explained in the past papers. This is just teaching. Okay, all right. And again, you might have to print your the browser view. So that simply means you take a screenshot of this, click the three dots, come here to screenshot, capture full web page, so they can capture everything, and then you can copy it there. Again, this has been explained in a past paper right here on my YouTube channel. Okay, so background image. We're getting to the fun part. The fun part. Background image. Background image can be applied to the body section of a web page using the background image properties with a value containing the uniform resource locator. That's the URL. Okay, which is often shortened to URL, followed by the image address or file name. This can be used to place a single background image in the center of the page, or can be repeated to split lots of copies, so they are going to be tiled to make the background. Okay, so here, question 31. Edit your files. Okay, so let's open question 31. Question 31. Okay, so I'm going to open it. And I think at this point, we can start closing a lot of things. But how are we doing? Hope you're enjoying yourself in this class. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, so here we have, so the web page has a file, a Ajiro underscore star the png. Okay, so here we have it. So the web page, so that's the body. So we have background image, and then we have the URL, and then I have single quote, and then I have Ajiro Tech underscore star dot png. That is because it is in that file. Okay, it's in the same folder. Has a single background image placed in the top right of the window. Now, because it's a single background image, it's not going to repeat. So that means here we have background, repeat. I have what? No repeat. Now, I want to explain this. They said place in the top right. Now, this is very important. Now, let me save what we have done so far, and let's preview our work. So see where this is. This needs to be top right. Now, this simply means that what we are saying here is Okay, I think I need to start closing all this. Really, let's start closing them. So this simply means that top right. Now I want to use it to explain. So we have this right here. So this means top, and this is what? Right. This is very important. Top, right. This is right, and then this is left. This is bottom. This is bottom. This is top. This is left. This is x here. So right, this is very important. Right, this x, this minus x. Right, little bit of math. So for us to do this, really, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to add what we call, and it's right here, a background position. Right, we're going to add a background position, and I will explain all this. So we're going to add a background position. Background position. So what is it going to be? Now, the background position, we have what? We have the X and we have the Y. But again, we can always flex this. So this is going to be the X, and let me look at it. So it's going to have the X here is what? The right. Okay, we have top as well. Yeah. So we can have top, then we can have right. Literally, we can always make what we want to do, right? And if I do this, and I'll save this, I would come here. If I refresh, so it's still going to work. So we can always flex it. Now in my slide is right top, and here is top right. So we can always flex it, right? So this is very important, right? So this is very important. So we can have this. Okay, so here we can have this. If we don't want to use this, now look at this. I want to show you something here. So here we can have this. So that simply means we can do this, and we can have are we going with x or y first? Okay, so let's do x, right? So the x here will be what? So it's going to be right, semicolon, and then we have the background, right? Position dash y, and then we have what? Top, right? So if we save this and then we come here and then we refresh, it's still doing the same thing, right? It's still doing the same thing. So this is very important. So although the position, although this position this image into the top right corner of the window, some of the text overwrites the background image. In this case, this effect can be very useful, for example, but in a watermark, but in this case, it's difficult to read all the text as shown. By adding a margin right like this, you can force the context away from the image. And this start. Now watch this. You probably don't notice it, but if I do something like this, can you see? You can see that even if I do this, I have to just overlap. Is the text is not adjusting, right? It's still overlapping this, and we probably don't want it like this. So what we can do now is what we can do here. Let's see. Um, what we can do here is we can add a margin right, so this can force the content away from the image. So here, what I'm going to have here is I'm going to have what? My margin right, and I'll probably have a 200 pixels, right? So 200 pixels is going to force it away. So I'm going to save this. Now in the exam, they'll tell you in the question. So if I do this, so if I refresh, right? Notice something happened. Now if I do this, watch. Even if I'm adjusting this, it's going to give a space. It's not going to overlap. It's not going to overlap at all. Okay, so this is very important. Hope we're learning. Okay, so now we have tax question 32. Open the style sheets. Let me open question 32. We're almost getting to the end. And okay, so open the style sheets. Okay, control open this. I think I can just close this really. um, okay, so I have, okay, what am I doing here? And the web page, yes, edit this web page so that the web page has a title background image using the file dot png. Okay, provide evidence of your style sheet and the browser view of the web page. So we're going to have it to look like this. So let's do that. So here, I'm going to have, can I preview this? Please permit me to preview this. Okay, this is what we have. So I'm going to add a break to this. So I have background image, background image. Okay, so I have a URL, a single quote. Please take note. Um, and then break dot png. Okay. So now this is background repeat. Okay, so background repeat, and I have, now if you do no repeat, watch what happens. No repeat. Let me save this and let's see what happens. A lot, and you're like, okay, do you have a private tuition? Don't you have? Do you have? And yes, Ajiro Tech do have a private tuition. So by my right, you can see that we have for the EdXL and Cambridge IGCSE, and yes, we do have for all subjects. Okay, all subjects. Okay, the popular ones that's always been in demand is mathematics, English language as a second language. Okay, we have physics, we have biology, we have chemistry, and we have um, you know the flagship, which is ICT, just here and there. We also have business studies. So if you're interested for a private tuition, um, I think all you have to do is send an email to the sales team at ajirotech@gmail.com, and they would reply to you, talk about your time zone, talk about, and the fee is really quite affordable. Really, it's really quite affordable. It's when you look at it across other tutoring service, I think this is the one that's quite affordable, and you get the very best of service. We also have for the E levels as well, um, and also for the EdXL. So we have for the Cambridge E levels and EdXL E levels. Okay, and we have also across the subject mathematics, which is usually the hot cake when it comes to E level, mathematics and chemistry, and then biology. These are usually one of the ones we have in demand always, all the time. Even physics, for E level. So all you have to do, if you're watching this right now and you are interested for a private tuition, then you can do yourself a solid, okay, and send an email to the sales team at ajiro@gmail.com, and they'll reply to you. And the good news about this is, what I've discussed with the sales team is, we've tried as much as possible to see how we can subsidize the amount according to countries, so it doesn't really look very, very heavy. Okay, so so this is really important. Yes, we do charge in pounds, but again, we try to be as much as possible considerate to your countries, and we don't just skyrocket the price. No, because at the end of the day, we know how it feels, and we really want you to actually get the best of service, and again, be able to afford it from the comfort of your home. So again, Ajiro Tech private tuition is currently ongoing. You can enroll yourself for the IGCSE, and then for the E levels. Again, for the IGCSEs, these are the subjects, and for the E levels, these are also the subjects. So again, what are you waiting for? Just send an email to the system. If you're an IGCSE student preparing for IGCSE, if you're watching this in 2024, 5, when this in 2026, when this is 2027, we're currently ongoing, and this is actually a good time for you to actually explore, and then get it tailored to your own needs. So trust me, you don't want to miss out if we do not repeat. Now let's see this. We're just having this here. But if we repeat this, it's going to cut across what we want. So here I have what? Just remove the no, and I'll save this. Merci. Gracias. So, yep, this is what we have really. Okay, so this is it right here. Um, so literally that's what we have here. Okay, so tax 18. So let's open tax 18. Tax 18. Just a key thing here. This is position a background image. That's what we talked about. Here is what to position a background image. And I drew this to explain the whole process. That this is what the background position. Okay. And this has what? The Y, the background position. This has what? The X. So X here, which is right, left, and center. It can give you right, left, and center. The Y will give you top, bottom, and what? Center. Are we together? Okay. So many knowledge flowing around in Ajiro Tech. It's a wealth of knowledge. And if you have not subscribed, I think you're missing everything really. So copy this file, replace the background with the file war. Okay, so I have this tax 18. Let me preview this. So I have war. This one was brick, nice war. Okay, uh, so we're having all the wars, huh? Okay, so I have this. Okay, so I have this. I'm just going to do control and then click on this. So we're having the wars too. Now, one thing I want to explain real quick is that was a good one. That was a good, yeah, it was a good one. All right, so we have this right now. Notice something. Notice something. Now they said followed by the image file name. This can be placed as a single image in the center or can be placed with this. Now, notice something. When we're using URL, okay, URL, you want to find the location. You can use a single or a double speech mark and it would work. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, here, I did a single, and even if I did double, come here, right? And I save, and I come here, and where's it? And I refresh, to give it not the same. And if you come here to panels,